Hi everyone, my name is Les McCursky, and I'm a territory manager for Citizen Watch Company here in the Midwest for the past 26 years. Today we're going to unbox one of Citizen's most iconic watches from its Promaster collection. It's the Blue Angels Skyhawk AT. We're going to talk about the features, the functionality, and also help you with some of the setting instructions on this watch. So let's get started. We're going to be looking at Citizen model number JR 8078-52L. It retails for $695. The movement is caliber number U680. Comes in this beautiful carrying case. Will protect your watch for any travels and also a great place to store it. And there it is. First thing I want to talk about though is the warranty card. Please make sure you register your purchase at citizenwatch.com. If you do that, you'll get an extra year warranty. And also, we have a new mobile app where you can access setting instructions and register your timepiece there. And you'll also be able to get updates. All right, let's take a look at the watch. I think the first thing you'll see is the striking blue dial and bezel with the yellow accents. These are the colors of the Blue Angel. They're the Navy's elite flight demonstration squadron, known for their precision, just like this watch. The second thing you'll notice is the weight of the watch. It feels solid. It's solid stainless steel. Look at the fit and finish of the case and the band. Very well done. And also you'll notice the contrast between the polished and the brushed finish on the stainless steel on both the band and the case. This is a 46 millimeter case and 200 meter water resistant, so swimming is not a problem with this watch. If we take a look at the crown, you'll see the Promaster logo, another nice detail there. And on the case back, you'll see the Blue Angel Insignia. This watch features a fold over double locking push button deployment buckle. So once that is on your wrist and locked down, it's not going anywhere. It's going to be very secure. This watch is powered by Citizen's EcoDrive technology, which means it runs by light, any kind of light, and you never have to change a battery again. The Blue Angel also has a power saving mode. You can see the charge strength up here at the 10 o'clock position. We are just about fully charged, but if the watch is not exposed to any kind of light for a while, the digital portion goes dark. And after about 7 days of total darkness, the hands will retract to the 12 o'clock position. The watch is now in power saver mode. It will keep track of time internally for up to 3.5 years. At any time when the watch is again exposed to light, the digital lights back up and the hands rapidly advance to the correct time. I want to give you a quick charging tip on this and all EcoDrive watches. Heat is not a friend of the watch, so when it's time to charge a watch, bringing a light closer to it does not make the light any brighter. It only makes it hotter, which is not good for the watch. And also, don't charge your watch on hot surfaces, for example, like the dashboard of your car. Another unique feature of this watch is the atomic timekeeping for 43 cities. Every night at 2, 3, or 4 o'clock in the morning, this watch is programmed to receive a signal from the atomic tower. In the US, that tower is located in Fort Collins, Colorado. There are also towers in Europe, Japan, and China. All the tower locations are represented below the charge indicator at the 10 o'clock position. Once the watch receives a signal, it'll update the time to the exact second, and it'll also adjust the date. So by pressing the bottom button, this will let you know if the watch has received the signal or not. The second hand becomes an indicator, and here it's pointing to the word no, which means it did not get the signal last night. It could also point over here at the 1 o'clock position to either H, M, or L, which means that it did receive this signal and tells you that it received either a high, medium, or low signal strength. There's also an RX directly at the 12 o'clock position. If we press and hold this bottom button for 2 seconds, The second hand again becomes an indicator and stops at the RX. That means the watch is ready to receive the signal from Colorado. We're not going to do that right now because that'll take about 15 minutes or so to go through the entire process. So the watch does not adjust itself for time zones. We will have to do that, and we will go over how to do that. This watch also has a sapphire crystal with an anti-reflective coating, which eliminates much of the glare and makes it easy to see down into the watch. This also has a pilot's rotating slide rule bezel, which can be used to figure fuel consumption, a navigation calculator to figure ETA, flying distances, and other general calculation functions. You can find more details on this at citizenwatch.com. By pressing the top button, we can get the digital portion of the watch to light up. It might be kind of tough to see here under the bright lights, but it makes it very easy to see these functions in there in low light or dark conditions of a cockpit. This also has luminous hands and markers, and it makes it easy to see it in low light. At the 12 o'clock position, you'll see the UTC subdial, which stands for Coordinated Universal Time. It is the primary time standard by which the world regulates clocks and time. The subdial down here at the 2 o'clock position is the 24-hour subdial for your time zone, which is indicated inside of the digital portion of the watch. This watch is controlled by the crown and these two buttons, and we can put the watch into different modes. These are located down at the 6 o'clock position, all the different modes that we have. There's a time mode, a calendar mode, a countdown timer, a chronograph feature, 2 alarms, and also settings for world time. So we'll go over those individually. All right, let's take a look at some of the functions. The first one down here at the 6 o'clock position, you'll see the little indicators pointing at TME, which is time, and that's exactly what I want to adjust now. This watch came out of our Torrance facility in LA, that's the time zone. I want to change it to Chicago. So I'll pull the crown out one click, and I can advance the cities by pressing the top button. So we're at Denver, Mexico, Chicago, New York. I can scroll the opposite direction if I overshoot one and go back to Chicago. Now I see the correct Chicago time at 6:40 is in the digital portion. So in order to flip the time to the analog hands, I got to press both buttons. And you'll hear a little beep. And now the time has shifted and it is 6:41 on the analog hands. And in the digital portion, it says LA. I can move this back down to Chicago if I wanted to and have them both set the same way. But what I'm going to do now is to try to get a time zone far, far away and get these hands out of the way so I can do some other of the demonstrations for you. There we go. So now the second function and how we move to the modes is pull the crown out one click. And I'm going to turn the indicator now to the CAL, which is the calendar. There you can see that Chicago, it's 5:21 on a Friday. And again, you have to make sure you're in your city and you can advance to different cities. I like leaving the watch set with the time and also the date there. If you have to make an adjustment for the date, you can pull the crown out one click and you'll see that it's flashing. And then you can turn the crown to adjust the month there. But there's no need to do that because it's updated every night by the atomic clock. The next thing that we'll have, the next mode, is a timer. So you pull the crown out one click, advance the hand, push it back in, and it's a 99-minute countdown timer. So we press the top button, and now we're off. It's counting down. So let's say you're going to be at a parking meter for 30 minutes or something. You want to make sure you don't get a ticket. You set this for 25 minutes. It'll count down and give you a quick chime. So that way you know that the time has expired. And this will stop it, and the bottom button will reset it to 0. There's also a chronograph function. Again, pull the chron out one click, advance the hand to the CHR, push it back in, and now we're ready to start the chronograph function. Top button starts it. It measures time in 1/100th of a second. We could also do split times. Let's say somebody's running a mile and they just finished the first 440 yards, and we can go ahead and press the button, and that'll give us our split. And it's flashing here as SPL for the split. It's hard to see that, but it'll start going again. There it goes for the remainder of the time. We could also do another split when they come around for the second time, and it'll record all that information for you, and you'll be able to play it back. So top button starts and stops the chronograph. The bottom button resets it to 0 where we're at right now. The world time, we'll pull the chron out one click and move into the world time section. This we can set different cities. Let's say if we wanted to eliminate certain cities, instead of having all 43 cities, I only want to keep track of 5. I can go through this section here and turn them on or off in the set, and it'll eliminate the different cities that I don't want to have on here. Now let's go into the alarm mode. Pull the chron out one click, move it to AL1, pull this out a second click, and that the on off is for the daylight savings time. And here we want to make sure that we set it for the proper city. And I want to get this into Chicago to set the alarm, which now we have done. And we'll push the top button again, and we'll get the hour. And pay attention, there's a little A or P for AM and PM. We want it to go off at 4:02. And once we've completed that, we'll push it in. And that alarm will go off once a day at either at 4:02 AM or PM, whatever you have it set at. So there's also a secondary alarm. And then the last function here that we have on the watch helps to automatically set up daylight savings time. If you know your time zone is changing time twice a year, you could leave this set up right here at automatic, and it'll make the change for you twice a year, so you never have to do it manually. So now we're back into the time mode, and I hope this has been helpful. Thank you for taking the time to learn more about our Blue Angels Skyhawk AT from the Promaster collection. You can get more information at citizenwatch.com.